Hello, welcome. We are going to be looking at Mirage Arcane Warfare, the teaser trailer. We'll be dissecting a little bit. I am Unborn, and I've watched this trailer too many times, so we're going to go ahead and check it out at a very slow speed. Our first opening shot here, we get a very quick idea of the art style the game has been using. You can see those heavy outlines used on most of the objects, which is reminiscent to Borderlands for many people, as well as the first-person perspective with the person running with a dagger in the right hand and a sword in their left. Alright, and we move into the next shot here, as we can see the pink building and the mountain in the background. This is a map that we actually see come up multiple times in this trailer, so remember those two buildings as we'll go inside of them soon enough, as well as this very place where we'll see an engagement in just a second. Another idea of the outlines. Okay, so here we are. The gal in red, I'll be calling the lady. She comes up multiple times, and it is of what the player is looking as. So you can see she is covered in blood, so Torn Banner is sticking with the blood and gore theme that they embraced with Chivalry, and in Minotaur she will quite literally lose her head, so they are maintaining the ability to cut off limbs and heads, most likely, a popular feature in Chivalry. Alright, the person who is killing them is, you can see here, is using a spear. You can see that at the very top. He gets him with a little bit of an overhead. And he'll be what I'll be calling as the Gladiator. A lot of these characters I'll just be calling as some random name that I've chosen because it's easier to explain what's going on since they come up multiple times. He's at the purple team, he's wearing chainmail. And now here we are, we see the guy who I'll be calling the Minotaur on the right side. He has a big mace in his hand, he's got the big horns on his head, and he is stabbing who I'll be calling the Peasant. Doesn't got much going on. He's got some flame in his hands. So he seems to be some kind of a mage, perhaps, the Peasant. And we're going to see him just getting stabbed there. Next we cut to the Minotaur actually dying. And he drops his big mace on the ground. And we saw a little bit of a tracer there with a sword. Now we see the lady jumping and turning in midair. It's a pretty high jump. Not sure if that's just the actual jump that we expect characters to have or if it's some special ability held. A little bit of a turn there. And now we move to the big kick, or the super kick. She's kicking the Gladiator in the head, leaving a bit of a remnant behind him. The important to note, in the top right hand corner, you can see a little eye logo, which I assume is the Purple Faction's logo, due to the fact it's on a flag and it's purple, the same color as all of the purple team has. And, you know, just game design kind of makes sense. So, and also we saw some more enemy creature on the right side there, those blue little floating guys. And this is probably the best shot that we can see of the art style. Really shows off all the dark outlines. And here we get a better idea of the actual map as a whole. Assuming this is near the corner of it, we can see how big it is. Since we've been in that pink building, we hear more in the desert area. We can see the cave in the foreground here, and that mountain is still in the back. So that perhaps could be another level, because I don't really think that would be in the map. It'll probably be a little bit too large. We also see the cave added there, and the relative detail and map design level can also be seen. We know they hired a level designer within the last year or so, as they had that position open on their website and took it down, so I only can presume that they hired someone. And we'll be going to this, what I presume is the second map, which is the darker nighter map. We can see that lighting thing going on the left side. Perhaps that's a teleporter, or it's just there for some visual effect. We're not quite sure. Next fight is going to give us a lot. It's going to be the next scene popping over here in just a moment. And, alright, so we got the lady on the right side here. She's getting hit by the Minotaur there with his big old mace. And you also notice the lady's weapons goes flying pretty far, something I found pretty humorous. And then after that, we are going to see Shield Man. I'm not sure if he's the Gladiator or another class. He's actually going to throw his shield, which looks like it's on fire, and it's going to spin in midair, which I enjoyed. So we'll check out that. So swords, weapons goes flying, shield goes flying. Also note that a light appeared behind Shield Man. Perhaps that is trying to demonstrate some kind of weapon drop, ability pickup, or some other kind of game mechanic. And we'll see the shield fly for a moment as we continue and go to the purple lady. So we've seen the orange lady, and this kind of shows that the characters are not dependent on the faction. They can in fact swap. Also to give an idea of, like, we saw a lot of damaged player models where they're bloodied. This one, of course, being a little more cleaner. She dodges some kind of smoke trail, I assume, from some kind of projectile from orange mage person, who we will see in a moment here. And she's going to side strap into some fire bolts. There's also a lot of black, great times to pause. Black just, going on and on, like on and off, which annoyed me. And next we are going to see Big Hat Man, and he is going to be attacked by a lady via some kind of special charge ability as he cuts his insides right open. Okay. So there's a lot of mechanics going to be worked here since we've seen her both do a super jump and some kind of charge attack. Also, of course, this gives another idea that the tree is a good demonstration of the art style going on. Alright, now we see purple. We see Big Hat Man, who we just saw get dissected. He is going to be shooting out this big, bright ball object thing, ball of energy. We don't really know. We're going to see him do it a little bit later on. And we're going to see the Minotaur jumping into an orange bubble shield, is what it reminisces me of from Halo. Inside the bubble shield, we have the gladiator and we have the peasant in the back. First, I thought that this bubble shield was kind of like a King of the Hill objective, which went orange because the orange team was controlling it. But I could also see it perhaps being a game mechanic where one of the classes could put it down and maybe force the teams to go into close range combat instead of shooting firebolts at each other from farther away. Something which may see in the next trailer, but could be a couple different things. So he's gonna hop in here, and then nothing's gonna happen. Now we're gonna cut over to see the peasant get killed, and just a ragdoll of him just kind of falling down. Does her hand look like a giraffe anywhere else? Alright, so here we are with the orb. Skill shot perhaps missing on the gladiator. The gladiator using that same spear from before, and we assume we just saw Big Hat Man tossing out. It also gives us an idea of the darker map that we saw before. I assume this is the inside of one of the palaces. Alright, now we are going to see our final scene here with the Minotaur, and then we see some crystals behind him, which is going to be what I assume is a special attack by the gladiator. He sees him kind of pound down and kills him. Kind of reminiscent from the chivalry taunt there as he does it, and then he ragdolls away. And that's going to be the entirety of the trailer. There's actually a lot more going on, and if this video gets enough attention, I may go into a lot more stuff like the questionnaire that Torn Banner released, which a lot of ideas can be pulled from, as well as general game design decisions that they talked about earlier on in Chivalry's early alpha and beta, which the beta was open. And we saw a lot of major stuff. Like we saw two teams. We have the orange team and the purple team going on. We saw two maps, the darker palace map and the open, more desert and purplish building map. And we saw some weapons being used. However, we did see only a single weapon used for each class. Perhaps that was restricted. For example, maybe the gladiator can only use that spear, the Minotaur that mace, and the lady, just two little dagger things going on. And we saw a lot of gameplay mechanics going on. The next full announcement is going to be March 9th for the full revealed trailer. If you want to check that out or more, you can do so on the subreddit for Mirage at r/MirageAEW. Thanks for watching.